1923, the return of old enemies. The storm has passed, but the real terror is just beginning. As 1923 plunges deeper into its second season, Episode 3 delivers a relentless wave of tension, heartbreak, and raw survival. From Alexandra's harrowing journey through Ellis Island to Spencer's deadly realization on the road, the stakes have never been higher. Meanwhile, Jacob Dutton fights to make it home. Kara proves once again that she is the backbone of the ranch, and Tiona Rainwater's enemies inch dangerously closer. But with each victory comes new challenges, and for the Duttons, survival is never guaranteed. Every choice carries weight, every action echoes into the future, and the legacy they fight for is written in both blood and sacrifice. A land of dreams or a cage of desperation. Alexandra Dutton, Julia Schleipfer, has crossed the ocean, but her true fight is just beginning. After a grueling month at sea, she finally sees the shores of America. The promise of a new life with Spencer is within reach, yet as soon as she arrives, she's thrown into the cold, unforgiving process of Ellis Island immigration. Forced into humiliating medical exams, stripped of dignity, and nearly denied entry due to her pregnancy, Alexandra has to prove herself in ways she never imagined. When a skeptical immigration officer questions her story, she makes a bold move, reading aloud from Leaves of Grass, a declaration of her worth that secures her passage into the country. But freedom doesn't mean safety. As she steps into New York, Alexandra quickly learns the brutal reality of survival in 1923's America. A kind street vendor gives her vital advice: hide your money, trust no one, and watch her back. But even with these warnings, danger lurks in the shadows. In the final moments of the episode, a mysterious man follows her into the train station's restroom, setting the stage for an imminent and terrifying confrontation. What makes Alexandra's journey even more daunting is the cultural shock she experiences. Having come from British aristocracy, she imagined America to be a land of opportunity, where perseverance and grit would be rewarded. Instead, she finds a world that is harsh, unforgiving, and stacked against the vulnerable. Alexandra is a survivor, but survival means facing dangers she never anticipated. As she boards the train to Montana, it's clear that her struggle is far from over. The road ahead is long, and the enemies she faces are no longer just obstacles, but symbols of a world that demands more than she ever expected. Meanwhile, the looming question remains: what happens when she finally reunites with Spencer? Their love has survived impossible odds, but will the man who has fought through hell still be the same when they see each other again? A road paved with blood. Spencer's escape turns deadly. Thousands of miles away, Spencer Dutton, Brendan Sklenar, continues his desperate trek home, entangled in a world of crime he never wanted to be a part of. In a last-ditch effort to earn his passage, Spencer agrees to transport bootleg liquor for the Italian mafia. But as he and his traveling companion, Luca, Andy Dispenza, near the Texas border, Spencer comes to a chilling realization. This is a fight that isn't his to win. He refuses to risk his life for a bunch of booze and walks away. Luca, unwilling to abandon the mission, presses forward only to meet a brutal end. When he attempts to force his way through a roadblock, federal agents gun him down, leaving Spencer alone, stranded, and with yet another tragedy weighing on his conscience. This moment marks a turning point for Spencer. Throughout the series, he has been a man of action, charging headfirst into danger without hesitation. But Luca's death forces him to confront his own mortality in a way he hasn't before. His recklessness has cost lives, and now, with Alexandra waiting for him, he must make choices, not just for himself, but for their future. The road to Montana remains long, and the dangers are only beginning. His journey is no longer just about returning home, it's about whether he can truly escape the violence that seems to follow him wherever he goes. Additionally, Spencer must now navigate his next move carefully. With no clear path home and no allies left, his next decision will determine whether he reaches Montana at all. Will he keep another dangerous job or find another way to return to the land his family is fighting to keep? The price of survival, a ranch on the brink. Back in Montana, the blizzard that nearly took Jacob Dutton's, Harrison Ford, life has finally passed. Jacob, Jack, Darren Mann, Zane, Brian Gararti, and the rest of their men emerge from their makeshift shelter with no firewood, no wagon, and no guarantee they'll make it home. Their only option? Burn the wagon for warmth and ride for their lives. Their journey home is slow and grueling, the bitter cold clinging to their bones, exhaustion weighing down every movement. Each mile feels longer than the last, a brutal reminder that even the land they fight for can turn against them. As the weary group finally reaches the ranch, they are met with yet another brutal reality. Zane has suffered a subdural hematoma, a life-threatening brain injury. The only way to save him? Drilling into his skull, without anesthesia. The gravity of the moment is staggering. Zane, a man who has given everything to protect this land, now lies helpless, his fate resting in the hands of those around him. Jacob, still weakened from his own injuries, watches in grim silence. The brutality of survival spares no one, and for the Duttons, this is yet another battle they must endure. Meanwhile, Cara Dutton, Helen Mirren, has survived her face-off with the wolf, but she does more than just survive. She sends a message. In a chilling display of dominance, she posts the dead wolf on a cross outside the ranch, a stark warning to any predator, animal, or otherwise that dares to challenge the Duttons. This moment reinforces what fans already know. Cara is the heart and backbone of the Dutton legacy. She is fierce, unyielding, and willing to do whatever it takes to protect the family's land. Jacob, weakened but still formidable, realizes how close they came to losing everything. The war against nature, against rival ranchers, against time itself continues. And it's clear that the Duttons cannot afford any more missteps. Every moment spent fighting for survival is a moment stolen from securing the ranch's future. The battle is not just physical, it is deeply personal. And with powerful men like Donald Whitfield, Timothy Dalton, circling, Jacob knows that the real battle has only just begun. A choice between love and blood. Elizabeth, Michelle Randolph, is still recovering from the wolf attack, enduring brutal rabies treatments that push her to the edge. The pain is excruciating, and each day she questions whether she can endure another round of injections. When she hesitates, Cara, Helen Mirren, delivers a sharp slap, reminding her that survival means sacrifice. But for Elizabeth, the true struggle isn't physical, it's emotional. The harsh realities of Montana have begun to sink in, and the romanticized vision of a frontier life with Jack has all but shattered. The frozen land, the wild animals, and the never-ending cycle of violence that surrounds the Dutton family have taken their toll. Determined to escape a life she no longer sees as her own, Elizabeth makes a decision that could change everything. She packs her bags and tells Jack that if he wants to stay with her, he must leave Montana and follow her to Boston. It is not a threat, it is a plea. She has seen what this land does to people, how it hardens them, and she refuses to watch it do the same to him. This isn't just about fear, it's about the future. Elizabeth sees the endless cycle of violence and hardship that comes with being a part of the Dutton family, and she wants out. She wants a life where she doesn't wake up to the sound of gunfire, where every decision isn't dictated by survival. For Jack, this is the ultimate test. Will he choose his love for Elizabeth or the land that defines his very existence? The weight of legacy looms over him, and his decision will shape the future of the Dutton line. His heart is torn between duty and love, between the land that raised him and the woman who might be his only escape from it. As the episode progresses, it becomes clear that Jack's decision will not just impact his own future, it will have consequences for the Dutton family as a whole. If he leaves, it could signal a break in the family's unity at a time when they need to be stronger than ever. A fracture in the family could mean a new vulnerability, one that men like Donald Whitfield would be all too eager to exploit. But if he stays, it means losing Elizabeth. And that too might be a wound that never fully heals. The weight of this choice hangs heavy in the air, setting the stage for a decision that will have lasting repercussions on the Dutton legacy. A storm still looms. What's next for the Duttons? As 1923 hurtles towards its next chapter, the battle for survival has never been more intense. Will Alexandra escape her stalker and make it to Montana? Will Spencer ever set foot on Dutton land again? Can Zave survive a crude, painful surgery without anesthesia? Will Jack choose Montana or Elizabeth? Can Tiana's father protect her before Father Renault catches up? How long before Donald Whitfield, Timothy Dalton, makes his next move against the Duttons? With every episode, 1923 raises the stakes, delivering gripping drama and life-or-death moments that redefine the Dutton legacy. Hold on tight, because the storm is far from over. 1923 is more than just a prequel. It's a saga of resilience, vengeance, and the fight for survival in a brutal world. Every episode builds upon the deep generational struggles that define the Duttons, crafting a story that is as unpredictable as the land they claim. The frontier may be vast, but danger is never far away. With looming threats, fractured relationships, and shifting allegiances, the future of the Dutton Empire hangs in the balance. Whether you're here for the action, the drama, or the slow-burning tension that defines Taylor Sheridan's storytelling, one thing is certain: 1923 is only getting started. So keep your eyes on the horizon, steel yourself for the next showdown, and brace for the storms yet to come.